Good evening. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Kansas City, Midweek Mindfulness Service. My name is Lorna. I am one of the licensed prayer practitioners here. We appreciate you coming and spending time with us and considering possibilities of giving and receiving to yourself. So it's springtime, and more people are coming out into the light, moving about freely, and feeling a new sense of power that we can get out now because of the weather, because COVID is waning, because it's time. But in that, I find myself running into a lot of people who are easily agitated. And so I want to talk this evening about letting go of those silly little things that irritate us and change our course, at least temporarily. I'm drawing my inspiration from a book called It's Easier Than You Think by Sylvia Boorstein. Its subtitle is The Buddhist Way to Happiness. And she tells a story called, But It's My Bench. Many years ago, I was doing some weeks of intensive meditation treatment at a retreat. And in those days, I not only used a cushion to sit on, but I also kept a bench nearby, so that I could switch to the bench if I got tired of the cushion. I had a lot of anxiety that my body might hurt me, and I felt I needed to have every possible aid with me. I also sat against the back of the wall of the meditation hall so that I could lean on the wall for support if I needed it. One afternoon, I was sitting quite relaxed at my spot near the back wall, on my cushion, with my bench right next to me. Suddenly, I heard some rustling movement near me. I opened my eyes just a tiny bit, and I saw a hand reach down, take my bench, and walk away with it. Then I saw the person who took it, and they put it down at some distance from me to sit down on it. The person was a new arrival whom I had not yet seen at the retreat. Well, a volcano of irritability exploded in my mind. It was very righteous irritability. He had my bench. At that moment, it didn't matter at all that I had a cushion and that my body was quite comfortable. Nor did it matter to me that there were extra supplies of cushions and benches that I knew were available from any of the retreat managers. That person was sitting on my bench. I spent many agitated hours composing recriminating notes in my mind addressed to the person who had taken my bench. I never wrote a real note, but my mind relentlessly devised every possible note that I might send. The notes progressed from coldly cordial to mildly sarcastic to outright demanding. Every day, the same man sat on my bench, clearly not giving it a second thought. Each time I entered the meditation hall, my anger rose to a new level. As days passed, and my bench showed no sign of returning, a new worry that this person would actually take my bench home with him further escalated my anger, and I started to dislike every single thing about that person. I disliked the way he walked, how he sat, and how he ate his food. Then one day, just after a lunch when I had not liked the way in which he had washed his dishes, I returned to the meditation hall for the afternoon sitting and found that my bench was back in its original place, right beside me. The person who had used it was gone. He had apparently arrived at the retreat late and left early. Suddenly my mind cleared. It was as if it had been filled with a storm for 5 days, and now the storm had suddenly passed. It had been filled with a storm for 5 days. I realized I had spent all that time in a storm over the whereabouts of a bench I didn't need. The whole experience felt bizarre. I had used up incredible energy. I was amazed, and I thought to myself, is this the way I do my whole life? Let us pray. There is only one life, and that life is God's life. Everything that takes place happens in such a way that there are lessons to be learned, experiences to be had, joy to be found, and above all, peace in the comfort of knowing that no matter what, we are perfect, whole, and complete in God, right now and always. And I know that because God is all and it is only one life, I recognize that I am a part of that life, that all that I know and experience comes from this divine guidance, that it intervenes when it needs to, that it allows when it can, and that it co-creates the correction in my life. And so I know that as I move about this earth, surrounded by all the other people, recognizing we are all connected by this divine source, I take comfort and I pause when things seem different than I had imagined, when events occur that I don't understand, when I am troubled by things that are minuscule, that seem to come in like a splinter and leave like a sore. I let them go. I let them go. I let them go because I understand that it is all simply something happening right here and right now, not to be carried forward, not to be dwelled upon in a past tense, simply to be acknowledged now, to accept, to release, and let go. And I am grateful. I am grateful for this. I am grateful for the understanding that I too am an individual on this earth, probably putting other people in the same position that I allowed myself to be put. And so I am aware of who I am and what I am, and I am grateful that I can see beyond this moment and that I can respond accordingly. And so it is. Oh, recognizing the divinity in all things, recognizing the wholeness of life with all of its ingredients stirred into the pot to make something special. I invite you now to settle down. Feel your eyelids grow heavy. Feel your jaw relax. Lower your shoulders. Let them go. And recognize how that takes the pressure off your arms and loosens your grip. Breathe deeply. And feel how your skin accommodates the expansion of your chest as you do so. Lower your shoulders and allow your back to settle. Allow your belly to just be. No restraint, just let it hang out. Just let it feel completely calm and settled. Allow your bottom and your thighs to take the weight of your body, allowing your legs the release. Allow your toes to relax. Consider in your life the most precious gift that gets us through every single day, and that is choice. Choose to forgive. Choose to embrace. Choose to let go and simply be human sometimes. Take a breath. Relax your shoulders. as you begin to move from where you've been to where you are in this moment, I want to share with you the following guidelines that Buddha taught to his monks. Before admonishing another, one should reflect thusly. In due season will I speak, not out of season. In truth will I speak, not in falsehood. For his or her benefit will I speak, not for their loss. Gently will I speak, not harshly. In kindness I will speak, not in anger. I invite you now to take a nice deep breath Notice your body and how it is gradually beginning to respond to the movement that is now taking place as you bring yourself to the present moment. Be conscious of the freedom you have to deliberately keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the jaw from tightening. Having the time you've just given yourself to soften the edges of those things that have irritated you over the last several days. Allowing yourself the opportunity to gain some perspective, to acknowledge the sincerity of the feelings that you felt at the time that these things occurred. I hope that you have found a way to be able to consider them without having to return to all of the emotion of them. To simply acknowledge, yes, I do get upset. Yes, this or that made me angry. It's very natural, but it's also very transient. And as you move about into the coming days, I want you to consider a wave coming up onto a shore, soaking into the sand, changing its color, moving pebbles and rocks and grains of sand about, disturbing its natural state. And setting on top of that sand, foam as it retracts back into the sea, leaving that residual effect. And I want you to imagine allowing the sun to dry that up so it no longer exists. You have the strength to do that. You have the choice to do that. And you have the power of yourself and of the divine to enable yourself to move forward with whatever lessons you've learned or maybe that you've taught in these moments of transient challenge. Let them go. Be at peace. And so we take another deep breath and we end this evening knowing the truth that all that I am is perfect, that everything that happens is perfect, that just as I have so many times before, as things arise, I will be able to address them in the most positive way, with godlike qualities, joyful in my anger, joyful in my forgiveness, maintaining perspective, and always moving forward and moving through. And with gratitude, I release these words into the activity of the law, knowing it is the truth. And so it is. Thank you for spending time with us at Center for Spiritual Living, Kansas City. Visit our website, www.cslkc.org, to learn more about all the services that we offer, all the ways in which we choose to be here as one. We invite you to participate however you wish, and we thank you.